Thanks, brother. Thanks, brother.
And all your family, good health and everything.
Yeah, let's hope so, mate. Let's hope so. We had a quiet one. We just stayed in the house last night. Me, Dawn, and the girls. We had a couple of drinks. We had a few. We had a Chinese meal, and we just sat and watched a little bit of music on the television as the new year came in.
Did you watch that Jules Holland?
No, mate. We just because obviously the kids are a bit younger. They like to listen to their music, so we just stuck. There's a couple of music channels we stuck them on, and then I stuck for the last hour. I stuck Elvis 1968 on. So it was good, and then we from where we live we can see like over the River Tyne they do like a laser display and fireworks display, so we could see that from the top window. So we watched that out the window, and then we all went to bed straight after that, mate.
Nice one.
The girls were knackered.
My year started a bit poor, mate.
You what, sorry, Charlie?
My year has started a bit poor.
Oh, go on, mate.
I'm 5 days into a 10-day isolation period.
Oh no, for COVID.
Yeah, listen to this. The cheeky bastards. They come to my door 5 days ago.
Right.
They said I've got to do a test where they put something up my nose and something down my throat.
A lateral flow test.
So I said to them, whatever it is, stick it up your arse and fuck off. Anyway, since then I've been on what's called a 10-day lockup. I'm not allowed a shower, I'm not allowed on the yard, and they bring all my food to myself. Right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm wondering what's going to happen after the 10 days is up.
So was there a suspicion that you might have had COVID, or were they just doing this?
No at all. Absolutely none at all. I'm as fit as a butcher's dog. Nothing the matter with me. It's not just me, it's everyone on the unit.
Right, okay.
But unfortunately, all the others have had the test. Like a load of fucking sheep, they've all gone down that road and they've all done the test. I'm the only one who's on lockup.
Right, okay.
And it don't matter what happens, Steve, there's no one on this planet ever going to fucking do that test with me.
I mean, it's literally just to check to see whether you've got COVID, I guess. Has there been an outbreak in the Has there been an outbreak in the prison?
Not on the unit, on the main wing, yeah.
Ah, right. That's probably why they were doing it, like, you know.
But the only way I'm ever going to get COVID is off one of these fucking idiots, isn't I?
Yeah, exactly.
But my argument is, there's no reason on this planet why they can't walk me from my cell 20 yards to the exercise yard.
Yeah, so you're not getting any exercise?
No exercise, no shower. No, I'm not allowed to leave my cell. They bring everything to me door.
Right, okay. So...
It's a catch-22, mate, but, you know, after 10 days, I still ain't having no fucking tests. I'm just not doing it, mate.
Well, the 10 days, like, I think it's been dropped to 7 outside prison, but I think the 10 days was what you would call the isolation period. So basically, if they suspected that you had COVID, but you're refusing to have a lateral flow test, which is your right not to have one, then I think what they'll probably do is that you'll probably go back to normal, because if let's say that you had COVID but they can't prove it because you wouldn't do the test, then I think what they'll probably do is they'll probably just take you back to your cell and there'll be no fuss, mate.
Yeah.
I genuinely believe that, mate.
But listen, don't worry about it. I'm sweet as a nut. I've done all my press-ups, my sit-ups this morning.
Good.
You know, I'm eating well. They're giving me proper grub. You know, I don't give a fuck, mate. They rolled me door up.
Yeah, I genuinely think you'll be fine, mate. I think it's just, I think it'll be precautionary, and because you wouldn't take the lateral flow, if you took the lateral flow test, you wouldn't have been in there. But I think I think what they're doing is it's standard procedure, and I think you'll be fine, mate. So I don't think it'll affect you.
At the end of the day, they've got a job to do. I'm not blaming them.
No.
But they're fucking idiots, you know. I wish to think that I'm going to do one of them tests.
Yeah.
It just ain't happening, mate.
I mean, they're not very pleasant to take. I've took a couple in the last couple of years when I've had...
Yeah, but it's different for you, Steve. You're out there, mate. You've got to do it to get on with your life, haven't you?
Yeah, this is true, mate. This is true.
Me, I'm in fucking prison, mate. I'm serving a life sentence. They're not going to fucking do things like that to me.
Yeah, I know, mate. I have got news. I spoke to Gemma. Now, you remember Sarah, the journalist who we spoke to, she did the Colin Pitchfork story, right?
She's done a good job there.
She did, mate. Now, she's interested in doing something with Gemma. So I've spoken to Gemma and I've told her to speak to you, because I said to Sarah I wanted her to write the story up So she has done. She's sent me the story, which I've now forwarded to Gemma. Now Gemma needs to read that down the phone to you.
And what is it? Is it a big story?
It's about her visiting you.
Oh, yeah.
So obviously you've only had one visit during COVID. She was the visitor. And I think the way that Sarah would like to play it is, what her mindset here is, right, that Charlie has a female friend who's gone to see him. Now, look, we know how the media can play this. If this got into the hands of a rogue journalist, they would make something out of it, which potentially they might not be, or they may.
No, I make you spot on, and I'll tell you, it's happened to me before, and this is my motto in life: always get the first one in.
So this is what she's saying, and obviously for Gemma there'll be an earner out of it. But what she said is, she says, look, I'm happy to do a story with Gemma about the visit and about their friendship. She says, and I said, well, look, I said, Sarah, it's a big year for Charlie 2022. I says, because there's going to be a petition launched. And I said, if you could drop in about the petition and push the website in the article, I says, that's going to help Gemma build the website and also build the petition when it gets launched.
And I don't know whether you know, she's writing her life story now.
Well, there we go. So I think ultimately that's gonna be huge, you know. So
see, what a lot of people don't realise, Steve, she's lived a hell of a life, you know.
yeah.
Yeah, she's mixed with all the stars. She's been on the radio, at her own show. She's really lived the dream, you know.
Yeah. I mean, she's a bright, intelligent young lady.
She's very smart, mate. Very, very smart.
Yeah, exactly, mate. Exactly. So,
You know, I picked a diamond there, haven't I?
oh, 100%, mate. 100%. So she's got her loaf screwed on as well. But I said, look,
Yeah, I think you're right, because if she don't do it, sooner or later someone's going to do it without her say so. It's going to be full of bullshit.
well, you see, the thing is, I interviewed her on the podcast, which everybody said, you know, let's do it, let's get on. Gemma wanted to do it, you know, you were happy with it. So it won't take a genius to see that at some point and go, oh, I wonder if there's anything been written about this. And then suddenly it becomes a story out of the podcast,
Yeah,
which...
you're spot on. You're spot on.
So Sarah's obviously done well with that. I mean, the reason she's not been in touch for a while is because her father passed away with Alzheimer's. But I've put her in touch directly as well with Richard. So if there's any project that Richard's got, she can work with him.
Richard spoke to her.
Yeah, Richard spoke to her last year, and he said
No, she spoke to her recently.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
I've just called him now. He's not in. I just left the message.
Right. Well, I just think she's a good person to have around because she's not affiliated to any newspaper. She writes for her own agency, but she's also got the connections with the television, with Good Morning Britain, with.
Brilliant idea, mate. I do honestly.
Yeah.
I'll give my consent for that.
Yeah, well, I'll leave you to speak to Gemma. She's got the article and she can run it past you, and then she can take whatever direction she wants with Sarah directly, you know.
Yeah, I think that's brilliant.
And then it's a little earner for Gemma as well, you know.
Yeah, it'll be a few quid for her, won't it?
Of course it will, yeah. She can just deal direct with Sarah and get it
She
sorted.
needs it. She's minted, mate.
Yeah?
She
Good.
only lives down the road from Big Ben, you know.
Does she?
Yeah, in Parliament she lives.
Now, I've got to ask you as well, before I forget. Have you been watching World's Strongest Man?
Fucking brilliant.
Oh my God, the Stoltman brothers, man. They're both in the final.
Brilliant, mate.
Did you see last night where he was celebrating too early? He thought he'd done it, and then he had to go and do the Stones against the American guy.
He was a tough on the American, wasn't he?
Oh God, I mean,
They're the big boys, aren't they?
it's amazing.
I'll tell you what I do like. I like that woman, the young girl who comments on it.
Yeah, she's good, isn't she?
She's brilliant, mate.
I watched the Britain's Strongest Man ones, and they were on a couple of weeks ago. And that Chris Kamara, the footballer, was rubbish doing the commentary on
Yeah,
it.
he's a bit silly, isn't he?
Well, he's not. He doesn't understand the sport, you know. And but I think
The best strong man of all time, in my opinion, was that Polish geezer, Belinsky.
Mario, he was whatever. I can't pronounce his surname, but he was great, like, wasn't he?
For the size of him, he was a born athlete, you know, wasn't he?
He was, mate. He was. But
He was brilliant, mate.
I've enjoyed watching. I've enjoyed watching the Brits. Though we've got better over the years, you know.
Yeah, he does well. Big Terry, doesn't he?
Yeah, that was his last one this year.
I know, yeah. And what about the black one, Mark?
Mark Felix, he reminds me. He's like a darker version of you, Charlie, because he's he's getting on. He's in his senior years now, and he's still the best. He's over 50, yeah, and he's still doing so well.
He's been around a long time, and he's a very humble man, you know.
It's one of them things. If you could have done that, you know, you easily could have done that.
Yeah, if I'd have had plenty of chickens and got in the gym, I'd have been alright, you know. I always remember walking into the gym in Belmarsh.
Yeah.
And I'd spent years and years in the box with no gyms, you know. And the PTI there was massive. Obviously, he was on steroids. And he was only in his 30s. And I was only in there on my own, apart from the gym orderly. Because I was only allowed in there at a certain time when others weren't in there. And this PTI says, what do you fancy doing, Jez? Because I know you ain't been in the gym for a long time. I said, I'll tell you what, I just fancy a nice bench press. He said, what should we put on the bar? He said, because I will have to spot you, obviously. I said, yeah, no problem. I said, put 320s on. That's 320s, right?
Yeah.
Plus the collar. I repped it 5 times.
Wow.
5 fucking times. 320, so that's 620s plus the collar. And this is exactly what he said to me. He said, that is phenomenal. He said, we've got guys coming in here year after year who ain't even up to that stage. He said, you've blown that away and you ain't been in the gym for years. He said, that is... I said, to be honest, I said, when you do your bird like I do my bird, you're never going to be world atlas, but you can maintain what you've got.
Yeah.
And the power comes from within, the core of your body anyway. But if I would have done my bird a different way, loads of chickens, loads of eggs in the gym every other day or whatever, I think I would have been a 19-stone Hulk.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it, mate.
But I've still got the power. I've still got my power.
Yeah, no, you have, 100%, 100%.
I'm never going to be like the tax man up there, Brian. I'm never going to be like him, because he's fucking inhuman, him. But I believe your power is within yourself. And if you tell yourself you can do it, you do it.
He's suffering now with his back though, Brian. I mean, he's had 2 big operations now and he's been laid up for about 6 months.
Well, the truth is, all them big boys end up suffering, you know, with the joints.
Yeah, they do.
It's exactly right. Our bodies ain't meant to fucking do what they do.
No. Breaking news on the transfer. The transfer window's open and Newcastle have put a bid in for Kieran Trippier, the full-back.
Oh, good player, mate. Good player, him.
And now our game against Southampton's been called off, so Newcastle's got a 2-week break in the Premier League now.
Oh, plenty of training then.
But well, it means we can get 1 new players in as well.
Sort them fucking corners out of their headers.
Exactly, aye, exactly.
They're a good team, Newcastle. I don't know why they're down like they are.
We'll do alright, mate. We'll get a few new faces in for that. And our next game's Watford at home. A big 6-pointer.
Oh, that's a winner, that. You should win that. But then again, they're no walkovers, Watford, you know.
No, but they're conceding goals like the back, so I think we'll do alright, especially at home.
But what I've noticed with Newcastle, they don't really come alive until they're fucking well behind.
Yeah, that's what they've been doing, but that Manchester United game was a turning point.
You should have won that.
Yeah, we should have, mate. Ronaldo should have been sent off.
That, mate.
Ronaldo should have been sent off.
Yeah, it's a dodgy old calls there, wasn't it?
Oh, 100%, mate. 100%.
So when's your next match now? 2 weeks' time?
We've got Cambridge in the FA Cup a week on Saturday, a week today, and then we've got Watford the following weekend.
Cambridge, that's on paper, that should be 10-0, shouldn't it?
I hope so. It would be nice to get a good win. We could be going to Wembley. Newcastle Spurs Cup final. Wouldn't that be good?
Oh, fuck's sake, blinder.
I'd be putting in for a day release for you, Charlie, to get you there.
I'll tell you what, there'd be more Newcastle lads there than Spurs fans.
There would be. Good stuff, man. Good to hear you.
I always see that big Geordie in the audience who always takes
his top off.
Fucking big belly on him. And he's got Newcastle right on his belly. Honestly, hey, the bus is going off any minute.
Happy New Year, bro.
Fucking love you, mate.
Love you, mate. Ta-ra.